In this video, let us start the adrenal or suprarenal gland. So actually, what is adrenal gland? In the name itself, you can understand adrenal. It is upon the kidney. Suprarenal. It is above the kidney. So first, we need to draw the kidney. Okay. So we need to draw the two sides of kidney first. Okay. Of course, this is not so clear, like not the exact diagram. Okay. So imagine this as kidneys. Okay. So this is a right side kidney, and this is a right side suprarenal gland, and this is a left side suprarenal gland. So now you should find out the difference between the right side and left side. What is the difference? So if you see on the right side, the suprarenal gland is somewhat like triangular or quadrilateral, but if you see on the left side, the suprarenal gland, it looks like a semilunar shape. So this is the difference which you need to see in the right side and left side suprarenal gland. Okay, so these are like a pair of important endocrine glands. They are important endocrine glands situated on posterior abdominal wall. So they are on posterior abdominal wall. If you remember, even the kidney is in the posterior abdominal wall, and they are retroperitoneal organs, right? So even the suprarenal gland is retroperitoneal. What is retroperitoneal? It is back. It is situated back to the peritoneum. Okay, and this is present in the posterior abdominal wall, and it is present in the upper pole of kidney, right? You can see this is the upper pole of kidney. You know, kidney, we are divided it into upper pole, lower pole. Okay, so to the upper pole of kidney, you will find this suprarenal glands. So the suprarenal glands are in turn divided into cortex and medulla. So it is divided into cortex and medulla. So the cortex is of mesodermal origin. The cortex is of mesodermal origin, and it mainly secretes steroid hormones. So it secretes steroid hormones. And if you see the medulla, it is of neural crest origin. Okay, neural crest cells origin, and it is made up of chromaffin cells and also secretes adrenaline and noradrenaline. Okay, adrenaline and noradrenaline. So once again, let us revise what I said. So adrenal or suprarenal present upon the kidney. Okay, on the right side it is triangular or quadrilateral, on the left side it is semilunar. They are present in posterior abdominal wall because they are retroperitoneal, like they are back to the peritoneum. Okay, and the suprarenal gland is in turn divided into cortex and medulla. So the cortex is of mesodermal in origin, and it releases mainly steroid hormones. The medulla is from neural crest cells. It releases chromaffin cells, and they secrete the adrenal, it releases not, it have the chromaffin cell, and this medulla secretes the adrenaline and noradrenaline, and also noradrenaline is also called as catecholamines. Okay, so these are secreted by this medulla. Now coming to the location, so where these are located, they are located in epigastrium. So I hope everyone know the 9 regions of abdomen, right? So in epigastrium you have your suprarenal gland. So actually they are located in front of crus of diaphragm. Why? Because the crus of diaphragm is in the posterior relation to the suprarenal gland. So crus of diaphragm is located posteriorly. Of course, if it is present posteriorly, then anterior to the crus of diaphragm will be having a suprarenal gland. Okay, and they are located, so this is a posterior relation to suprarenal gland. And next one is they are opposite to vertebral end of 11th intercostal space and 12th rib. So what it means? It is opposite to vertebral end of 11th intercostal space and 12th rib, means you can say that it is in between the 11th rib and 12th rib. Okay, so actually this kidney and this glands are located in the posterior side of your abdomen, right? On the back side, not on the anterior side of your body. It is located on posterior side. So on the posterior side, that too it is related to the 11th and 12th rib. Okay, so now coming to the sheets. Actually the suprarenal gland is covered by areolar tissue around. So there is a lot of fat around this suprarenal gland. So let me shade it. This is the fat around the suprarenal gland. Okay, so this is like a fat. Okay, after that there is also a areolar tissue. In that areolar tissue only you have this fat. So this is a areolar tissue with fat. Okay, areolar tissue with fat, you need to note this around the gland. Even if you remember, around the kidney also you have some fat, paranephric fat, already we discussed. Okay, so around the suprarenal gland there is fat, and also there is a fatty sheet. Okay, there is also a fatty sheet, and outside this fatty sheet there is a renal fascia. So outside this fatty sheet there is a renal fascia. So outside it means this will be renal fascia. Okay, so after renal fascia the gland is separated from kidney by septum. So this is called as septum. So septum is what? Which is dividing the suprarenal gland from the kidney. So once again let us revise the layers. So first, around the suprarenal gland you will have areolar tissue with fat. Okay, following that you will have a fatty sheet. Okay, after the fatty sheet you will have renal fascia. And another point is about septum, which divides the suprarenal gland from the kidney. Okay, now mainly let us discuss about the right suprarenal gland. The right suprarenal gland is triangular, or you can say pyramidal. Okay, triangular or pyramidal. So you can see here it's triangular or pyramidal, and it is having a apex. So this is the apex. So let me draw a triangle. Imagine this as right suprarenal gland. So it is having an apex, and this is called as apex, and it is having a base. This is the base, and it is having two surfaces. One is the anterior surface, on the back side you will have the posterior surface, and it is having three borders. So one is anterior border, and the other one is posterior border, which will be on the back side. So if you imagine this as a 3D image, okay, so this will be the anterior border, and the posterior one, this will be the posterior border. Okay, and there will be a medial and lateral border, right? So medial, this side will be the medial border, this side will be the lateral border. Okay, so I will show the original diagram. So here you can see this is a right anterior view of the suprarenal gland. So you can see here this is like a pyramidal shape. This is the medial border, this is the lateral border, this is the anterior border, and this will be the posterior border. Okay, so three borders: anterior border, medial border, lateral border, two surfaces: anterior surface, posterior surface. Okay, so now let us see different relations which are related to the right side suprarenal gland. Actually it is somewhat like pyramidal, not exact triangle. Okay, like this. Okay, so now let us see the relations. So first, to the apex there is related to bare area of liver. Okay, so to the apex there is bare area of liver. Why bare area? So let me write apex, bare area of liver. So why bare area of liver? You can imagine right side. On right side only you will have liver, right? So near here will be liver, here will be suprarenal gland, here will be kidney. So it is near to the liver. So apex is related to bare area of liver. Coming to the base is related to upper pole of right kidney. Of course, here will be kidney, right? So upper pole of right kidney is related to the base. And next, coming to the anterior surface. The anterior surface is devoid of peritoneum, no peritoneum, okay, except for small part inferiorly. Okay, so no peritoneum on anterior surface, and it is related to inferior vena cava. It is related to inferior vena cava, that too medially. So medially there will be inferior vena cava. So you can see here this is the medial side of suprarenal gland, this is the lateral side. Okay, so medially it is related to inferior vena cava, and the base area of right lobe of liver is the bare area of right lobe of liver is located laterally. So laterally there is a bare area of liver. Okay, so laterally bare area of liver, medially inferior vena cava to the apex bare area of liver. Okay, and occasionally there is also duodenum inferiorly. So inferiorly there is duodenum here. So these are the different relations of our right suprarenal gland. Now coming to the posterior surface. Now we discuss about anterior surface relations. Okay, so now let us draw the posterior surface. So for example, this is a kidney, this is the posterior surface of a suprarenal gland. Okay, so now let us discuss about posterior surface relations. So posteriorly it is related to right crus of diaphragm, right crus of diaphragm, and also it is related to the anterior border. And the anterior border there is apex presents hilum where the suprarenal vein emerges. Actually in the anterior border on the posterior surface, in the anterior border there will be a hilum. Sorry, what they are saying is not on posterior surface, normally on the suprarenal gland below the anterior border, somewhere over here you will be having hilum, right? And next coming to the medial border, this is the medial border. The medial border is related to right celiac ganglion. So here you will be having a right celiac ganglion. Okay, right celiac ganglion, and also you will be having a right inferior phrenic artery, right inferior phrenic artery, and on the lateral border we'll be having a liver. So in this area, in this diagram you can see clearly, this is the medial side, this is the lateral side. Okay, so you can see medially it is the area related to inferior vena cava, lateral it is the area related to liver. Okay, so by this we have completed the right suprarenal gland. Okay, now let us discuss about the left suprarenal gland. You know that the left suprarenal gland is semilunar. So okay, so let us draw the anterior side. This is the anterior side, and this is the posterior side of left semilunar gland. Okay, so left semilunar gland, if you see, it has two ends. One is the upper narrow end, and a lower end which is rounded. Okay, and it is having two borders. One is the medial convex border and one is the lateral concave border, and it is having two surfaces. One is anterior surface, one is posterior surface. You can see this is the anterior surface and this is the posterior surface. Okay, so now let's see the relations of left suprarenal gland. So in the upper end it is related to posterior end of spleen. So left side, understand, left side means you will have spleen, so upper end you will have spleen, and lower end it is to the lower end is hilum. So lower end it has hilum, and through which left suprarenal vein emerge. So left suprarenal vein emerge from hilum of left suprarenal gland. Okay, and next you have anterior surface. The anterior surface from above downwards, it is related to cardiac end of stomach. Okay, so to the cardiac end of stomach, and next to the splenic artery, next to the pancreas, and only gastric impression is covered by peritoneum of lesser sac. So let us write the anterior surface relations here from above downwards. So first, cardiac end of stomach, and next you have splenic artery, next you have pancreas. Okay, and remember that only the cardiac end of stomach is covered by the peritoneum. Okay, now let us discuss about posterior surface. So in the posterior surface, it is related to kidney laterally. So posterior surface, kidney laterally, left crus of diaphragm medially. So let's understand this. On the posterior surface, you can see here, this is a posterior surface. It is related to kidney laterally. So this is medial, this is lateral. So laterally you have kidney, and medially you will have the left crus of diaphragm. So this is the left crus of diaphragm. And now coming to the medial border. So if you see the medial border, it is related to left celiac ganglion and also to left inferior phrenic artery and left gastric artery. So three arteries: left celiac ganglion, left inferior phrenic artery, left gastric artery. Lateral border is related to the stomach. Okay, so let us see this diagram. So you can see here, this is the left suprarenal gland. The upper side, you can see it is related to kidney. This is the posterior surface of left kidney, and you can see here, this is the area related to diaphragm, and this is the area related to kidney. Okay, so by this we completed the right and left suprarenal glands. So finally, let us discuss the arterial supply by means of this diagram. So you can see here, actually the suprarenal gland is supplied by the superior suprarenal artery, which is a branch of inferior phrenic artery. So the superior suprarenal artery supplies the suprarenal gland, and also there is a middle suprarenal artery. The middle suprarenal artery is directly coming from the aorta, and this is also supplying the suprarenal gland. And the next one is the inferior suprarenal artery, which is coming from the branch of renal artery. So these three arteries are supplying our gland. So one is superior suprarenal, next is inferior suprarenal, and other is middle. So very easy: superior, inferior, middle. So these three arteries are supplying the suprarenal gland. Now coming to the venous drainage. So the venous drainage is done by right suprarenal vein. So this is the right suprarenal vein, which is draining into the inferior vena cava, and the left suprarenal vein, it is draining into the left renal vein. So like this, these two veins are draining into the inferior vena cava. And now coming to the lymphatic drainage. The lymphatic drainage is by lateral aortic nodes. So let us write it out here. That is, the lymph nodes are lateral aortic nodes. Next, coming to the nerve supply, the suprarenal medulla have rich nerve supply by myelinated preganglionic sympathetic fibers. Okay. Next, coming to chromaffin cells, they are homologous with postganglionic sympathetic neurons. Now coming to the clinical anatomy. So you can see it here directly. The insufficiency of cortical secretion due to atrophy or tuberculosis of cortex results in Addison disease. And next, excessive cortical secretion due to tumors or hyperplasia of cortex produce various effects in children and adult. Next, coming to bilateral removal of adrenal glands is called adrenectomy, and the tumors of suprarenal medulla is called pheochromocytoma. It causes attacks of hypertension, which is associated with palpitation, headache, excessive sweating, and pallor of skin. So by this we have completed the suprarenal gland. Next we will start with diaphragm.